Let's focus on another incident which has taken place today in Israel. This growing concern, of course, about the security situation in Israel. In fact, one person killed and several injured in the port city of Haia today, and that comes at a time, of course, when there is concern over the ceasefire in Gaza. Israel has blocked fuel and food from entering the strip this morning. These are the most recent pictures of the crossings, which have all been closed in place of Phase 2 negotiations. The Israelis are now proposing a 6-week extension of Phase 1, which Hamas has already rejected after a security cabinet meeting last night. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said half the living hostages should be returned on the first day of that extension, and if negotiations are not being conducted in good faith, he said we will return to fighting in Gaza. The UN and several Arab countries have condemned the decision this morning and have accused Israel of breaking international law. Lucy Williamson reports at Gaza's border. New demands and old tactics stopping aid. Israel's way of starting talks on new Israeli terms. Its prime minister wants half the hostages left in Gaza released before talks on ending the war can begin. Hamas said it was a violation of the deal. They'd agreed there will be no free lunches if Hamas thinks that it will be possible to continue the ceasefire without us accepting hostages. It is very mistaken. Aid has been flowing into Gaza over the past 6 weeks. Many Gazans now less worried about Israel's willingness to stop the trucks than its reluctance to stop the war. The people are worried that the war might return and that we will go back to the Soros of war. Expensive prices and death. Everyone was hurt by this war, their houses destroyed, and people are now begging in the streets. So we tell Hamas to hand over the hostages, so Israel gives us back our children from the Israeli music prisons in Israel. The return of hostages like Sagi Dehen has increased pressure to extend the deal and get others home among them. 14 others from Israeli military leadership and our intelligence community has been saying that any incremental gains militarily in Gaza are not worth the lives of the hostages. The hostages must come home, and of course that does mean at some level a ongoing ceasefire, but Israel is signaling it's still ready for war, sending more tanks to Gaza's border and calling up reserves. Hamas says the price of freeing more hostages is ending the war. Some in Israel hope the threat of continuing it might also work. Lucy Williamson, UKK, News Jerusalem.